So Jarvis, thank you for the wonderful prayer to get the evening started. What we want to do is introduce who all we have sitting here at the table this evening first. And once we get through with the introductions, we're going to have our president, Mr. Booker T here, give some words about where we're headed this season, and just kind of paint the vision for everybody of where we're headed. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Jackson. I am the head of the board for Football Minds Youth Football League. And I do want to give everybody a little background about how we all ended up here today. You know, sometimes bad thoughts can lead to good things. And this is exactly what this is, the byproduct of the mind of a madman. And one day about a year ago, matter of fact, Jarvis and I were out playing spring football, and a mutual friend was announcing the game. And somehow he managed to pull both of us into the announcing of the game, and next thing you know, we were doing color commentary and play-by-play calling, and said, hey, this might be a good thing to turn into a weekly show where we talk about youth football in Houston, Texas, and what all is going around, because in Texas, we all know football is king. In Houston, we know Houston is the king of football, Texas football. And we wanted to create a platform to prove it, right? In Texas, put your money where your mouth is. And we decided to do that, and so we started a little talk show last year, and a lot of people started tuning in, and we tried to quit one day, and there wasn't anybody to take our resignation, so we had to keep going. And from that, Colombo came on the team, and we put out the first episode. It grew into a talk show talking about Houston youth football. It turned into a tournament, bringing in the best of the youth football teams in Houston. And from that, once we ran into a young, handsome guy named Hilton Koch, we managed to formulate a league out of it. Now, here we stand today with the visionaries, our partners, our founding members, our organizations, our parents, our cheerleaders, our players, and again, from a mindless thought, sprouted a brilliant offspring that's gonna reshape the way Houston youth football is viewed, not only in Houston and in Texas, but across the country. And so with that being said, I wanna have everybody at the table introduce themselves. I'll give as much input as I can, but I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. And I'm gonna start off, I guess we'll go clockwise here. So we'll start off with Mr. Hilton Koch, who is one of the visionaries also of what we're doing and why we're here. So Hilton, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Hilton Koch, and just want to kind of reemphasize the importance of understanding the presence of everyone, how much that's appreciated by the founders, the executive board, you know, Booker, our special guest, Mr. Vince, and, you know, Rice University. And want to just, you know, give thanks to Rice for hosting this event. And this is probably something that's unprecedented, but, you know, to me, hey, the best is yet to come. And, you know, thank everybody for coming out.
Hi, my name is Kendra Hunt. I'm the cheer director.
How y'all doing? I'm Ron Jari. I'm gonna be the rules and football operations director. I look forward to working with every organization out here. I think, man, the positive, man, we got a big future ahead of us, man. I look forward to working with every one of y'all.
My name is Jarvis King. I'm the mad scientist he was talking about. I also head of football operations for the Texas Renegades. Looking forward to a great season, a great league.
I'm Booker T, you know, Houstonian, been here all my life. Now I'm just fortunate to be working with these guys right here. More importantly, fortunate to be working with you young people, because this is what it's really all about, you young people. Bring you guys to the next level as well as mentoring you. give you that stepping stone to life. I think that's what this thing's all about.
I'm Columbo Hackett. I'm just here to help make the league the best it can be and be the best league in the state. I know we can do it. I'm also with the North Houston Panthers, the Pack. I coach the 10U. So see you guys during the season.
My name's Tanner Gardner. I'm the Chief Operating Officer in the Athletic Department here at Rice. We're thrilled to host each and every one of you here today. We're glad we can partner on a great and innovative league like y'all have going on tonight. So thank you very much. We're thrilled to host you.
Let me give you a little bit of background about myself. I started a wrestling company back in 2005. 2018 was still going strong, and it's all due to my young guys, like this one kid right here. His name's Brad Gilmore. He came to me when he was 18 years old. Kid right here, Kevin. He came to me. Actually, I went to him before he came to me because I did a speaking engagement at his high school. When he was like 16 years old, and he was actually my first student when I opened my wrestling school. He didn't turn out to be a wrestler, but boom, you see him behind the camera, and that's what the wrestling thing is about. It's not about actually becoming a professional wrestler. The ones that have the talent, I'm there to push them to that next level. But the guys who don't have the talent to become a professional wrestler, they might become an editor. They might become a producer. They might become a director, but they find their spot more importantly than anything. I've built my company, like I said there again, with young people. The younger, the better, because I honestly, truly believe that when young people see another young person doing something, they can aspire to be that person. It's so easy for them to actually get up off the sofa and want to go do more. And that's what I'm here for more than anything. I'm here as the bun, the glue to actually make us all stick together as one. We all got to row in the same direction at the same time to get to our destination. I really honestly truly believe that. Animosity is not something that could be within this family, because we are all as one. We're working for one thing. I heard John say one thing here a second ago, the first year. This is the first year. This is our first impression that we're going to get a chance to make on everyone. It's the most important time for us to make the most positive impression that we possibly can make. Now, within doing that, we're going to be having cameras involved with this thing. We're going to be filming. Just like I have my show, it's called Reality of Wrestling. It's a weekly show. Cameras on these guys. We're trying to create the narrative of what we want wrestling to be. Same thing here with Football Minds and what we're going to be doing with youth football. We want to change the narrative of when that dad and that mom have to think about letting their kid actually go and play. Now that starts with all of you coaches. You know what I mean? The coaches are very, very important as far as creating the narrative, creating what Football Minds, are all about. Hilton was talking about the elite. We're definitely looking for the elite, kid to be able to go out there on the field. We're looking for that elite kid to, handle his books. We're looking for that elite kid, to be able to, walk the old lady across the street. But we're looking for all the elite coaches as well to be able to, create that narrative to what's going on the sideline, and with youth football, it's not, something that we all don't know about. We've seen it. Sometimes, the coaches, so over the top, the parent in the stand, feel like they can be over the top. It's going to be up to us, each and every one of us, each and every one of you coaches, everyone that's on staff, to be able to create that narrative, to let that parent in the audience know what this thing is all about, and that is furthering our kids, as far as their opportunities, their futures, what kind of, way we're going to shape their lives. Because at the end of the day, everybody's not going to be a professional football player, but Hilton is not a professional football player either. But youth football shaped the person that he is through discipline, through hard work, through teamwork. And I think that's what we have here, guys. We have an opportunity to actually create something at the same time. Like I say, this is the first year, but I want to be talking to you guys after the 10th year and create this thing how we want to do it. If everyone could think the same way and think about one thing, which is the brand Football Minds. Who is Football Minds? the youth, these young kids, and what we do with them and how we shape their lives. I think if we could do that at the end of the day, through television, through the way we shoot this, through you guys, the coaches, patting that kid on the back and telling him, hey, you did a good job, even though he dropped that pass, you know what I mean? That right there is gonna go so much further with what we're trying to do than anything. And I just think, I think we can get it done. I think we can get it done. I'm not gonna blow a lot of wind up here or anything like that, but I'm the type, I'm gonna lead from the top. I got a saying that, if I'm 100% about something, I'm gonna speak up 100% of the time. If I'm 99%, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. And I ask everyone here to be able to do the same thing. If you're 100%, you speak up on it, because we're all inclusive here. We're all a team, more than anything. And the thing is, guys, I understand it's competition. I've been around a couple of you coaches here over the last couple of days, man. You guys are intense, man. You guys are serious. You look like you want to fight all this, and I understand that. That's part of the game, but we got to know how to be able to, channel that in a certain way to be able to get what we're trying to get out of what we're trying to do here, and that's give these young kids a half of a chance. I grew up in a household where my father passed when I was 10 months old. You coaches, you guys are the dad in a lot of these situations. You guys are that one to go to in that situation for advice. And we got to actually be able to step up in those positions and be the men that we want these young people to be in the future. I'm going to leave it at that. I was talking to Vince over lunch yesterday. He didn't know anything about this. I asked him if he would come out here with me and just listen, and be a part of what we're doing here. He was even asking some questions, to me that I didn't have the answers for. But for him to be here right now, guys, I don't know how huge, as well as to be the first one to show up even before me. That's huge, guys, and let you know that he's here for you. It's a special place in his heart for young people like yourselves, as well as all of you coaches that's trying to get this done. You can look to a guy like this for guidance, and I say this because I never played the sport. I never played it down. Kids look up to me for certain reasons, for what I've done on television, but this is a guy who's actually done it. He's a guy that's actually played on the field. He knows exactly what it takes to make it to that next level. So I say we lean on him for all the guidance that we possibly can. Floor is yours, man.
One thing me and Booker was talking about is the future is here. I was blessed and I was lucky to play 13 years of NFL football, and every year is a draft. Every year is new people coming in. Every year was somebody coming to take my job. We recycle. I didn't have the luxury to play Little League because I was always too big or too old or too young, whatever, however you slice it. So I never played Little League, but my father coached it, and I knew from a young age, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to be. I knew the dedication that it took. So, it took me, my first time playing flag football was 4, and my next time playing organized football was high school. So with that time, I played other things. I played basketball. That was my next sport. But when I got to high school, I knew what I wanted to do. Because I saw it. I saw something in football that I gravitated towards, and I never looked back from that. So every time I played and every time I seen a kid in the stands or walking away from a game or in a hallway, I always tell myself, this is the future. Football got so much of a bad rap over these past couple of years, and I don't understand it because one thing football taught me was discipline, respect, team camaraderie, how to be a man, how to be responsible. It's a lot of things I learned as a football player and being part of organizations with a group of guys. It was a lot I learned. So you tell me a few mistakes or a few things here and there, a few hiccups in a sport that was been around forever,
it put a bad rap. You know, a lot of people didn't want to play it. You know, parents didn't want them to play it and all that good things. But let me tell you something. Football is the ultimate sport because you have to take a team, 11 people at one time, okay? And all 11 have to be on the same page. Not 1, not 9, not 10, 11. Got to be on the same page. And if you're not on the same page, you fail. You fail. So with what we're doing right now, we giving you guys every tool in the toolbox. We giving the coaches, you the drivers. You the drivers. The kids is gonna look up to you. The kids are gonna look up to us. You don't know what type of problem a kid is having going home. I knew for football, for me, I had the luxury to have 2 awesome parents. I grew up with 2 parents. I lost them when I was 20 and 21, 6 months apart, but I grew up in a household. I had both of my parents, and I was lucky. But a lot of kids don't get that lucky. But I knew football was an outlet to me. Even when I got in the pros, it was an outlet. When I couldn't sleep or I couldn't rest, I went to my facility. I did something at the facility because it was an outlet. So remember when you're teaching, and I'm not saying coaching, because coaching is teaching. And as coaches, you got to understand that. You have to be a teacher first. Not only on the field, but whatever is going on in that child's house, remember, it's an outlet for him. You never know. Get to know your players. It's okay to give them a hug or give them a pat on the back and say everything is okay. That's okay. I'm probably one of the most competitive guys. I would bet anybody how far I can spit because I'm so competitive. I compete about everything. But it comes upon a time where you got to take a step back and remember what we're here for. We're here for our future, and that's our kids. So you coaches, always remember that in the back of your head. When you're coaching, you're having a tough day or you ain't winning games. We all like to win, but at the same time, these kids should have fun. They should be taught the game and the right way to play it and how to treat one another on top of learning the game itself and how to win. So always remember we're teachers first. Teachers first. Keep the game fun for these kids. We don't never want these kids to grow up with a bitter taste in their mouth about sports, especially football. So keep it fun for the guys, and we'll have fun. And just remember, this is our future. We want to see our future grow. Well, the time is now. The time is now. Thank you, guys.
With that, we, myself, Hackett, Jarvis, when we went around, with all of the clubs that are here, there was something that there was either a lack of or maybe even non-existent, in what we presented and we felt that was our strongest asset, and outside of the football, we really targeted in on fellowship. So, we have way more people here than we presented to along the road show, but let's talk about the importance of the fellowship and the foundation of how Football Minds is built off of that fellowship.
Right. So it was a short amount of time, but a long road to get here. And during the many road stops that we made with the organizations that are a part of, that make up Football Minds, there were a couple of common themes. One is anybody can play football, and you can play football anywhere. At a certain age or a certain point of your life, you can play. And so we do want the kids to have fun, but we also want the coaches, the parents, the board members, the partners. We want there to be an environment of fellowship. So everybody, just like Vince said, we're all competitors, right? And for 60 minutes, Jarvis and I, who are joined at the hip a lot of the times, become rivals, But at the end of that 45, 60-minute period, somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose, but at the end of the game, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna respect each other, and we're gonna win with respect, and we're gonna lose with respect, and we will treat each other as fellow citizens of the league and fellow human beings. There's a lot of emotion wrapped up in this game, and at the end of the day, we want it all to come out as love, because that's what this is all about. It's also a bridge between communities. Not all organizations are coming from the same place. Not everybody's bringing the same resources to the table. Not everybody's bringing the same background to the table. But what football allows us to do, and what Football Minds, one of our underlying themes, is that we want to use this to create bridges between communities. Clear Lake and North Houston, only 40 miles apart, are eons apart in certain areas. And so we want to be able to expose to children from one part of town to the other, hey, it's still a game, and they have lives and they're people, and we can all work together to do something great. And I think that's ultimately what this embodies, is that the children, and as Booker continues to point out, they're the future. And if we give them the right platform to learn, to grow, to understand, to work, and compete with each other, we'll leave this place off a lot better than when we walked in here. And I don't want to be remiss to leave out one of our key partners who's been silent over here, and I want him I want him to speak, because we've coined this season the Road to Rice. And I want our partners here at Rice to talk about what that means to the university, and how we're going to go about that this season, and what it all means to the university as well.
Sure. Well, on behalf of my colleagues, Shu and Adrian and Eric, like I said, we're thrilled to host you guys today. We believe that part of our mission at Rice is to show young men and young women their future. And so to be able to have the opportunity to host you here, to be part of the Road to Rice, and to be where the road ends, is just a terrific way for us to live out our mission. We want to make you see that you belong at Rice and you belong in college, and that if you learn the skills that Booker T and Vince and the rest of the folks up here were talking about, of hard work, of commitment, of dedication, if you learn those things, these are going to be the skills that ultimately lead you to be successful in the classroom. And who knows, one day you could be playing football at Rice University in the same stadium that you're playing your championship game at. So remember that as you're in that stadium, and as you're playing during the year, and you're thinking about the end, just think, you might be 8 years old right now, you might be 10 years old right now, you might be 12 years old, but boy, when you're 18 years old, you might be donning that Rice Owls uniform and making our university proud. That's right. So keep focused on the goal, keep working hard in the classroom just as hard as you work on the football field, and you'll make us all proud.
Every team is going to be included. Every kid that should be highlighted is going to be highlighted, but every kid on the team is going to get some love as well. It's not one of those things to where everybody get a trophy or anything like that. The best kids will get the most attention. That's just the way life is, and that's where the competition comes into play, because we want everyone on the field to know that they have to work hard to be a part of this league. When we talk about the elite, that's part of it. Everyone stepping up and playing their role. With the coaches there again, we have a chance to build something, and we have a chance to either be a part of something, or a part of nothing. Right now, we're planning on being the future in youth football, not just here in Texas, because we know how big it is here in Texas, but around the world. We plan on being the #1 seed as far as parents around the country wanting their kids to want to come and be a part of Football Minds, the brand, the label, the shield. Guys, that's what it's all about. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Oh, I gotta say. I
love it.
This season is going to be something special. And I'm going to tell everybody, fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. 2018, Football Minds, Youth Football and Cheer. Let's get on the road to Rice.
Hey, let's go. Everybody hit tight. Let's go.
Yeah, so photos, do we